Today we're going to do an Optimus Prime head cake, and for this we have done a 3-tier 8-inch cake. You will need some blue fondant and some grey fondant, black, light blue and some silver. Right, so I'll show you how to make our Optimus Prime cake. Here I've got a kilo of icing. I've made it into a ice blue kind of colour. I'm going to take some of my corn flour and we're going to roll this out into a round. We have a 8-inch 3-tier or 3-layer I should say cake. A couple of more and then that will be it. We've got the fondant onto the cake, and now all we're going to do is just what we always do, is just rub it down and get it stuck on. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a prime space, and I've just off camera rolled out, coloured up some different grey fondant. So now we're just going to roll this out. So now I'm going to take my marzipan knife and I'm just going to trim off the. So I need probably about that much, and I'm just going to measure it up against here. And then just going to trim a little bit more off. And then I'm going to cut into like a triangle shape, but we want to leave a bit at the bottom. So now I'm going to bring my cake over, and I'm just going to measure up just to make sure it's the right size, which it is. So now what I'm going to do, and as we all know, Prime has got kind of like a line here. So I'm just going to take that off. I'm just going to move that. In fact, I can put that on top of the cake for now. I'm going to take a bit of our other grey fondant, and this time I'm just going to knead it to make it a bit more pliable, because obviously we've rolled it flat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with my hands. I'm just going to roll it out, and then with my smoother I'm just going to start elongating it a bit. Because we don't, can we move that bit out of the way, as soon as it broke, and that bit, because we don't want a lot of it. And you can see if I bring my cake back, I'm just trying to work out where the best position for it is, and also I'm just going to I just made it on the top of our face bit, and I just marked off how much I actually need. Just going to take the centre of our cake, and I'm just going to put a line there of water And then I'm just going to, oh, it's upside down. And then I'm just going to place that like that. And then, just going to place that. And we can trim up in a minute any excess that we have. I'm just going to push that down a bit. And then I'm just going to plop this on like so. And I'm just going to try and get that a bit more central. I don't want to stick this yet. So, and I'm just going to take my craft knife now, and I'm just going to trim that bit of excess up. And so you can see we've kind of got the prime line going down. So we're going to leave that to one side for the moment. Okay, we're now going to move on to his eyes, and I've got my assistant here helping me at the moment. So we've rolled out some black fondant, and we've just cut a piece out, and we're just taking it to size, and then using that piece that we've just cut, we're going to cut out our other eye. Like so. So now we're just measuring up, and you can see already we sliced one part off because it was a little bit too high. So we're just going to take our marzipan knife, and we're just going to trim off the excess using our eye as a template. Like so. And again, we're just trimming up. Again, like so, we're just going to trim up. And sometimes this can be trial and error, but please take your time. Both sides, and we're just going to stick our eyes on. So we've just taken our ruler, and we're just going to measure roughly how much we need to use. We're just going to trim off the excess first. We've made a tie kind of like shape, and this will go onto the positioned onto the cake in between the eyes and at the top, like so. Okay, so we've rolled out some blue again, and we're just gonna do the blue trim on Prime's face, which would be there. And we've taken measurements using our ruler, and we're just going to now cut. and we can use our cut ones for our template for our other one. You can see we're just trimming and getting our template right before we do our next one. And I have my assistant helping me today, my husband, who does all the editing on the videos. He's helping today. He's trying his hand at helping me make some cakes. I also have one little excited boy who's looking out the window because it's snowing where we are at the moment. So again, we're just measuring to size just to make sure that it's fine before we stick it. And we're just going to go ahead now and stick these down. So then we're going to stick our next one down. And again, we're just measuring up and making sure it's the right length and the right width and everything else before we glue this into place. And so we glue that in like so. And there we have the sides for Optimus's face. And we'll go ahead and make the rest of the bits.